In this video, I'll show you exactly how I monetized a subscriber's faceless AI YouTube channel with just 2 videos. Here we can see the channel. As we can see here, we posted the first video. That video absolutely blew up. And then just 8 days later, we actually got approved for monetization and started making money on this channel. So first day was like $72 and then $104 in the second day. So in this video, I'll show you guys everything how you can do that yourself. I've planned out this whole video, took me super long, so make sure to watch this whole video because you will know every single little thing after you've watched this video. I think this is probably going to be one of the most valuable videos you watch today. So in this video, you'll learn exactly how to pick the niche, how to create a YouTube account the correct way so you actually get views, how to pick video topics, how to actually use AI and freelancers to create the videos for you, how to test your niche and how to post these videos to YouTube, and then how you're actually going to make money from your YouTube channel. So as I said, you will learn everything in this video. We'll go through everything step by step. Now, for the people who don't know who I am and why they should even trust me, I'm Stefan, 24 years old. I currently make between $30,000 and $40,000 a month and constantly build new channels, as you can see over here. Then I've posted 2 videos that made me over $42,000 combined. And then, I've scaled the channel from $0 to $48,000 in just 30 days. You guys can pause this video and look at the dates and all of these things. Then I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, here, the student Martins, who have helped to scale up to $31,000 in a single month. This student, $23,000, $24,000 in a single month. Here student $12,000 in a single month. Here one $4,000 in a single month. And then here a bunch of others here. Andrew monetized in the first month with 3,000 subscribers. Here another one, second channel monetized. Here another one monetized. So trust me, when it comes to monetizing faceless YouTube channels, I'm your guy. All right. So if you guys are looking for the exact same kind of help as all of these guys, then check out the first link in the video description. Book your call with me. Let's see if it makes sense to work one-on-one together. All right. Now, that being said, I would say let's get into the video. It is going to be a good one. Trust me. All right. So the first thing we're going to need to do is going to be niche research. I always say the work you put in before you even start your channel is going to determine if your channel wins or fails. There are so many people that do not put in any effort when it comes to niche research. So many people. And then they wonder why they fail. All right. 99% of people fail because of the first step, because they do not take the first step serious. Most people just go into the health niche just randomly because they've heard it kind of gets a lot of views, or the motivation niche because who doesn't need some kind of motivation, or even luxury because they know luxury has a high RPM, or even finance because finance has a high RPM too. Most people just randomly jump into these niches and that's why they fail. So don't make the same mistake and randomly jump into the most random niche you see out there, all right? When it comes to niche research, we need to adopt a specific mindset. We have to understand that niches are just opportunities. We do not want to overthink and try to find the perfect one, because if you're going to try to find the perfect niche, and I'll show you in a second how a good niche looks like, you're going to look for niches for a very, very long time. And I always say, like, if a niche looks pretty good, but even if it's not 100% good, we want to go for it. We want to just test it out. All right. So don't try to find the perfect niche. Then it will time to find a good niche. All right. This is where consistency comes in. I always say, do 1 hour a day of niche research. In general, you will learn so much about YouTube and about the platform when you're doing niche research. I say, like, this is one of the biggest differences between the people that win and the people that fail, is doing niche research. Niche research is going to be the game changer for you. Then do not rush it and give it a bunch of time. So don't try to find your perfect niche in 30 minutes. Give it like 2 weeks or something. Really do a lot of niche research every single day. And trust me, you will find a good niche. Okay. And then treat it like a business, not just like a random YouTube channel. See, too many people, they treat, YouTube as just, a random platform where you post some videos. Like, if you're doing research, like, treat it as if you would put in $1 million into that business or into that niche. That's how you should treat niche research, okay? Treat it like a business, okay? Now, when it comes to YouTube, there is something called supply and demand. And this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation. And that is actually seeing YouTube like a marketplace. In the end of the day, YouTube is a marketplace of videos, a marketplace where videos are posted, all right? Now, just like any other market out there, YouTube has supply and it has demand. Now, what does that actually mean? Demand is what the audience actually wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. Okay, and we need to find a gap between these two that we can actually fill, and through that, actually blow up channels very quickly, as we did with the channel I just showed you. Now, what normal YouTubers do, and by the way, like for the people who don't know me, I did this for years as well. Like when I was just 12, I started my first ever YouTube channel, was a personal brand. At 18, had 100,000 subscribers. So that literally took me 6 years. This is something you can do with a faceless channel in 6 months. Okay, it took me 6 years, and the reason for that is very simple. Personal brands take years to, like, people take years to build their personal brands, spend years building a connection with their audience, and it takes a lot of time and hard work to build demand around them. Because if we're building a personal brand, we need to get people interested in us. Okay. Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we completely skip that whole process. Instead, what we do is we look for a topic or niche that has a lot of demand, but no supply. Okay, that is what we are looking for. Now, how do we kind of identify these kind of niches? That's where our niche criteria comes in. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend you guys to actually write this here down on a piece of paper and have this specific niche criteria with you at all times when you do niche research, because this is going to make your life as easy as possible. Okay. Number one, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in that niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply, which I've already explained to you is the most important thing when it comes to YouTube automation. Okay. And then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. Super important, because how are you going to compete against a channel that already has 100,000 subscribers? Okay. YouTube already trusts this channel with their lives. All right. YouTube wants to make money, and they're always going to push out the videos that make them the most amount of money. And if they are already channels with 100,000 subscribers, YouTube is obviously going to push out their kind of videos, because those videos, they know that these videos make them money. Okay. Then there are no smaller channels failing. Super important, because if there are a bunch of smaller channels failing, why should your channel succeed, especially if you're doing the exact same thing as they are? Then the niche is not older than 6 months. Important, because in most cases, if it's older than 6 months, there will be channels with over 100,000 subscribers, and there will also be channels failing. I can create better content than my competitors. We'll get into this a bit later, like a bit more in detail, but you can also just go ahead, you can create longer content. Okay. And then I'm actually interested in this niche. This is not a must as long as you build a team that actually has interest in that niche. Is YouTube monetizable? This I'll show you in a second. But is the niche monetizable? Super important. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money in that niche. I'll also show you exactly how you can check that out in a second. Huge bonus if you can post long videos, because then you can place more ads, and with that have a higher RPM. Okay, now this is basically where you can make more money per 1,000 views. Now, very important, again, this does not need to be 1,000% with all niches you find. You do not need to find the perfect niche. It is very rare that you find the perfect niche. And if you do, find the perfect niche, that's where channels blow up. Exactly like this one here did. But very important, do not overthink it. Do not try to over perfectionize it. It's not going to work. All right. Just get started, and we don't want the perfect niche. We just want a niche that can actually work and that we can actually get started in. All right. Now, tools I'd highly recommend for doing niche research, and I'll show you in a second how we actually use them, are Nextlev. It's like 13 euros a month. And then vidIQ, the free plan is enough. I'll link both of it in the video description. Nextlev, I have like a 20% discount code. As I said, check it out. Will be in the video description. This is just going to make your life way easier. Is it 100% needed? Absolutely not. Just going to save you a bunch of time. All right. So that's why we use these tools. But you can do Nextlev niche research without these tools as well. Now, when it comes to doing niche research, we use something called a dummy account. This is, in my opinion, a game changer. Okay, now a dummy account is basically a YouTube account that we only use for niche research. The YouTube homepage changed for our advantage. YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we actually want to watch, and we want to use that to our advantage to train YouTube, to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our YouTube home tab. Now, instead of me explaining all of this, let me show you how you can actually set it up, because once your dummy account is set up, you can, no joke, find endless, and I mean endless, niches with it. Okay, it's insane. It's a game changer. If we look at this account here, just as an example, this is a, niche research account, a dummy account that I personally use to do niche research. You can see like it's literally just faceless channels all over my YouTube homepage. You don't see any kind of personal brands or stuff like that, obviously here and there, but it's just faceless niches. And if we click on this channel here, just as an example, this is probably a channel I don't know yet. So here we can see 3,000 subscribers. I don't know this channel. Okay, and that's how crazy it is. And this channel is actually not even performing too bad. But let me show you how you can set up an account exactly like this. So what I want you to do is I want you to actually log into a YouTube account like this. So you can just call it whatever you want. I like to call mine niche research. This account, by the way, already has like 4 subscribers. You guys always go ahead and subscribe to this channel. But yeah, so just imagine that I am logged into a brand new YouTube account now, and this is how your YouTube homepage is then gonna look. Now, what you want to do then is you actually want to go to your YouTube search and type in anything you're interested in, all right? Now, I always do the biggest houses because I do not care what I post videos about as long as these videos actually make money. But I know that there are a lot of people who want to be very specific with the content they're going to post. They don't want to post anything that they are not interested in, okay? So once you've done this, you actually are here on this page, on the search page, and you want to scroll down and you want to make sure that you only click on faceless videos. So for example, this video, we can already see here, yes, this video is faceless. So keep your cursor on the video and have a look that the video is faceless. Once you see it's faceless, then we can actually click on the video, all right? And while this video is playing, we can already like this video, subscribe to this channel, and go here to our sidebar, all right? On our sidebar, we are going to look for even more faceless channels now. So here, just as an example, this one, here's another faceless channel, actually a very small one. And this is the cool thing about YouTube these days, is that YouTube doesn't really just push out big channels anymore. They also push out small channels. And if we look at this channel here, right here, we can see 400 subscribers. I don't know this channel, right? But yeah, let's keep on going because we want to do this for quite a while. Like you can't do this for 10 minutes and expect everything to be 100% ready and rocking to go. So let's see. Let's do this for a few more. I'm not going to do it for too long now, just to show you guys exactly how to do it. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and then make sure if you're interested in, for example, cars, only click on car content. But yeah, if we go here to this channel, small channel doing very well. Damn, this channel is actually doing well. But here we can see, all right, and I'll actually save this channel for us for in a second, because then we can actually look deeper into this one. I'll show you how to use all of the tools. But let's go back to our YouTube homepage, and here we can see, all right, faceless. Let's see, faceless, here, faceless. So here we can already see a bunch of faceless channels on our YouTube homepage, and we did not do this for a very long time. You want to do it for way longer than I just did it, okay? Now, once that is done, let me actually show you how you can now use the tools I just explained, like here, Next Level and vidIQ. Now, I like to use vidIQ to just kind of very quickly see like, hey, how many views is this channel still currently getting? Here we can see 580,000 views in the last 7 days, which is obviously quite strong, right? Then if it looks interesting, I'll subscribe to it. Now I'll always look at the most popular videos, see like where the view cap is, like how many views did the most popular video get. What we can also do is with Next Level is we can actually click on analytics like that. And then reveal the RPM, reveal the views, the channel revenue, and all the top countries, the age and gender. We can see basically all of this behind the scenes data from this YouTube channel to give us a clearer picture if the niche is actually good or not. Okay, so here we can see $5 RPM. So this channel is doing roughly almost 1 million views a month. So that would mean that this channel is almost doing $5,000 a month, which is not bad, right? Then we can see here the countries, we can see all of these things. Not only that, what we can also do with Next Level is we can actually look for similar channels in that niche to see how many competitors will we really have, or how many channels are they already in this niche, okay? As we can see right here. Now, if you do not have Next Level and you don't want to get it, you can also just go ahead to these channels, go to the most popular video, click on this video, all right? And then you can look it up, because the first thing you will see is that hundreds of people will copy the most popular video, okay? That's something I do not want you guys to do. So here we can already see there are a few people copying this video, but not really too many, to be very honest. There aren't many people copying that video. So that might then be like, okay, it doesn't look too bad. So this is what we use Next Level for. Obviously makes the whole process of doing niche research way easier. What you can also do is you can scroll down on your YouTube homepage, click here, and then subscriber versus views. And then it's going to filter, small channels getting pretty decent views, as we can see right here, which is, again, it just saves you a bunch of time. All right. So instead of randomly scrolling here on your YouTube homepage, trying to find niches, you just filter it and it saves you a bunch of time. So this is how we use a dummy account. Absolutely love it, right? That's how we do niche research, okay? Now, once we found some interesting stuff, we actually want to create new niches using the niche transfer method. Now, instead of blindly copying something everyone is doing, we use the niche transfer method to literally 1000x results. And this is essentially taking proven concepts on YouTube and moving them to different markets. I'll show you some examples right here. This can be, no joke, anything, okay? Title, thumbnail style, video style, anything that is currently working in that niche, you want to move that to a different space. So if we look at just as an example here, medieval times discovered, this is a channel that's posting videos on, medieval times. Now, this was the first channel in this specific space. It was doing very well. What happened then is more people came and they took this exact same style of content from this channel and moved it over to, here, just as an example, cavemen. Worked very well for them as well. Then they did it for pirates. Worked very well for them as well. Then they did it for homeless people, worked very well for them as well. Now, the reason why it worked every single time is very simple, because they've already had a proven to work concept. They just switched the audiences. So instead of competing with medieval times discovered, they now started in a completely new niche where they don't have any competitors, right? That is the niche transfer method. And the niche transfer method is, no joke, it's called like niche bending or something. Like, it's very similar to that, if it's not the exact same. But yeah, it's one of the most powerful ways to actually, create a YouTube channel and kind of eliminate all of the competition you have. Now, obviously, this takes a little bit of thinking outside the box, but it should not be too hard. All right. Now, guys, if you need any help with picking your niche, like we did here, for example, with, let's say, where is it? Here, Maurice, where we monetize his first channel in just 13 days and the second one just 8 days later. Check out the first link in the video description, book your call with me, and let's see how we can work together one-on-one and scale up your faceless YouTube channel. By the way, I completely help you to pick your first niche one-on-one. All right. Then we go on to the next thing, which is actually creating your account and the whole trust score kind of story. All right. This is something that many people are still very confused about. And what you guys need to know is that there are different types of accounts. There are brand new accounts, aged accounts, personal accounts, and pre-monetized accounts. I always recommend you guys to go with either brand new or personal or aged. Okay. I do not recommend like your pre-monetized accounts. Why? Because they cost a bunch of money, and very often the channels are bad. Okay. Now, when it comes to aged accounts, you guys have to understand that age of an aged account does not matter. Okay, accounts from 2006 aren't any stronger than a newer one. Anything before 2025 works about the same. So do not overpay for aged accounts just because of the year. Okay, then we want to protect our channel from day one. So we want to use different email addresses for every single account we start. We want to use different AdSense accounts. Now, AdSense accounts, and let me know if you want to have a full video on this, you can just go ahead and you can create LLCs in the US for like $300 or something. And with these LLCs, you can have more than one AdSense account, right? Very simple. So per LLC, you can basically have one, and per person, you can have one. So if you're one person and you have one LLC, you can have 2 AdSense accounts, okay? Then you want to use different browsers, different Chrome profiles, always keeps you a bit safer. And then no, you don't need any proxies, anti-detect, or anything like that. That's like largely a myth for trust purposes, okay? Then we want to warm up our accounts. This is not gonna like make or break your channel, but we always want to kind of make sure that we use everything in our power to actually make sure that YouTube pushes out our videos, okay? Now we warm up our YouTube accounts to actually increase our trust score. So the trust score is how much does the platform actually trust our channel. Now the accounts we need to warm up are new accounts and aged accounts. These two both need to be warmed up. All right. Now how to warm up your account? We use it as a normal user. We watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day. We subscribe, comment, and like to different kind of YouTube videos. Very important is that you do not spam. Okay. If you're gonna spam, YouTube is gonna flag your channel. All right, because I want to show YouTube that we're not bots. And if you're going to spam, it's going to flag it. All right. Now you want to do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of low trust score. As I said, this is not 100% working every single time. Now, a quick note. Always have 1 to 2 channels warmed up and ready to go, because once we have our niche, we want to get started in that niche ASAP. So we don't want to waste like days and days and days to warm up our account. How do we actually go ahead and test if the account is then actually good? So we record a real 3 to 4 minute phone video, just a walk where you're walking around, a drive, a room tour, content. The content literally doesn't matter. You log into that specific account, all right? It can be new or purchased, like an aged account, and upload that video to it. Now, very important is that you just upload the video right away. Don't put it through an editing software, anything like that. Just upload the video. Then you check the impressions like 24 hours later. 0 to 50 impressions is a dead account, and I would not use it. Okay, 200 to 400 impressions, it's usable, good enough, but not the best. And if you have 1,000 plus impressions, you have a high trust score and ready to post good content. Okay, now the thing is, when it comes to this here, all right, not every account is going to have 1,000 plus impressions. Okay, it's not that common. So when you're testing accounts, like test 10 accounts at once. That's what I would recommend. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, so now you know exactly how to set up an account. Now let's actually look into video topics. Like what kind of videos are you actually going to post on that channel? Because this here is almost as important as the niche. All right, you can have the best niche or you can have the perfect niche, but if your topics suck, your views are going to suck. So what I see too many people doing is copying videos one-on-one. All right, they copy videos one-on-one, most people. Okay, and this is the first mistake. So if we see this video here got 2.5 million views, and this guy here 200 views by copying the video one-on-one. Okay, now this video I'll show you, or here I'll show you now exactly how a good topic looks like. And something we have to always keep in mind is that supply and demand is not just important in your niche, but also in the video topics you are gonna choose. All right. Now, how do you actually find demand? We look for recent outliers on competitor channels, look for recent trending formats, and most importantly is we do not copy most popular videos from our competitors, because this is what everyone does and your videos will 1,000,000% fail. Okay. Now, how do we find supply? Very easy. We use our search bar and look at how many people have created the exact same video as we've already done just now. Then if it's been done more than 3 times and you don't really have a different angle to that specific video, go ahead and look for a different topic, okay? Because YouTube will always show the videos to the hardcore fans of that niche first. And if they have already seen the video multiple times, they do not have a single reason for clicking on your video, except if it follows a completely different angle, okay? This here is extremely important. Now, how does a perfect video topic look like? It's a topic that actually resonates with your audience. So ask yourself, does my audience even want to watch a topic like this? Some topics sound super interesting but are super boring. Make sure your topics are not boring. Your topic has to be posted on time if it's a trend. So let's say, for example, I don't know if we have like any trends on here, but let's say, for example, we have like here, let me have a look. Like you have a WNBA news channel, right? And you know, something happened today. You can't start posting about it like in 2 months from now. That's not going to work. right? If it's a trend, you need to post very quickly and you need to have a team that is extremely quickly, okay? Then you want to repeat what has done well in the past. Leverage negativity. Humans respond better to negative things. And by the way, when I speak here about repeat what has done well in the past, this is like the craziest thing you can do. Okay, that is exactly what we did here with where's that post here with Andre. We took from just being monetized to $30,000 a month in just 4 months by just doubling down on what works. Most people think you can't do a video twice. Just do it. Milk it out until it doesn't work anymore. Then we want to leverage negativity. Humans respond better to negative things. We see this all the time in like the headlines and everything, or everything is always negative. That's because we respond better to it. Okay. We want to use the topic transfer method. This is by far the most powerful way to choose video topics. Now, what you essentially do is you find winning video concepts and other niches and move them over to your niche. This can work insanely well if it's been done correctly. Okay. Now, here are some examples that worked extremely well. So we can see here, just as an example, in the medieval space or history space. This video here was posted first, 2.7 million views. Why you wouldn't last 24 hours in medieval times. And then we have why you wouldn't last 24 hours in Stone Age. I promise you, if you go ahead and you look up this exact topic, you will find hundreds of copies, and all of those people probably didn't get any views. Okay. And I truly believe if this video here would be longer, he would get more views. Okay, then we have here the exact same as we just spoke about. Here about cats, 2.5 million views, and then here about the dog, 55,000 views on a brand new channel in 6 days. So they took what is working and moved it to a different space. That is, again, the most powerful thing you can do, because you're already working with stuff that is working and you're just catering a completely different audience. Okay. Then this worked extremely well with Scott, who went from getting like a 50 to 100 views a video to almost giving up on his channel to $200 days within like a week. There's an interview with him on this channel. Just check that out. And super valuable. It's like 40 minutes or something. Okay. So this is kind of how you're going to find a perfect topic. It's a lot of scrolling. I always say like niche research and topic research are, that's why I say like do a lot of it every single day, because the more you do of that, the better you're going to get. Okay. Next up, now we have our topic. Now we actually go into the content creation process where you have 3 options for approaching content creation. So we either do it ourselves, we do the hybrid method where the freelancers do some and you do some, or we fully outsource it. Okay. Now, if we do it ourselves, the advantages are, there's basically no cost because you do everything yourself, 100% profit margin, you learn new skills, you have full control over the process. And the disadvantages are, this is not very scalable. It's extremely time consuming to create videos yourself. Trust me, when I just started out, I was also doing everything myself. And then learning takes time, right? So you'll have to learn how to edit and so on. And then without you, you don't make any money, because if you don't post any videos, you're not going to make any money, right? Then we have right here the hybrid method where you do some and the freelancers do some. So what basically happens here is you have the advantages are you have very low cost. You do what you enjoy. You have more control over the whole process. The disadvantages are it's only partially scalable. Time consuming, some capital is actually required for you to make this happen because you have to pay the freelancer. And then without you, there's no income. Okay. Then we have fully outsourcing. If you're going to fully outsource, you need around about $300 to $500 a month. All right. To kind of start outsourcing. Many of our students outsource and many of them do the hybrid method. All right. Now, the advantages of fully outsourcing is it's not very time consuming. It's extremely scalable. You still have over 80% profit margin. If we look at Andre just as an example, even higher, so for the people who don't know, YouTube is not like dropshipping or any kind of these business models. We actually have high profit margins, right? So the money we show you guys that we make, like 80%, 90% of that is actually profit, okay? Then you get time freedom, you work with experienced freelancers, and without you, you still have an income because the freelancers do the work for you. The disadvantages are it does require some capital, okay? Now, where do you actually go ahead and hire these people? So for a thumbnail designer on X, Fiverr, Upwork, YT Jobs, or onlinejobs.ph, or you can even use AI. Now, when you are working with a thumbnail designer, make sure that you don't just tell them like, hey, here's the topic, make me a thumbnail. Tell them exactly how you want the thumbnail to look like. All right. The thumbnail designer is not supposed to do the research for you. You have to do it, except if it's a good thumbnail designer that you actually trained up. Okay. Then for the script writers, we can use Upwork, YT Jobs, onlinejobs.ph, or even AI. AI is super good. Guys, we want to have speed in 2026. Speed is going to be key when kind of blowing up your YouTube channel. So I'd recommend, just going with AI for scripts. Same thing with voiceovers. We have Fiverr and 11 Labs. I'd just go with 11 Labs, get super good voiceovers, and you'll be good to go. For video editors, Upwork, YT Jobs, onlinejobs.ph, and X. Now, for the video editors, I'd highly recommend you guys to go ahead and hire video editors now already. So once you have a niche, you can immediately start producing videos, okay? Because we want speed. We need to get these videos out there as fast as possible. And this is also the reason why we actually give our students video editors to make their life as easy as possible. Okay. Then for channel managers, we want to look in our friend group. Maybe there's someone who wants to kind of run the channel for us, or even Upwork, YT Jobs, or best case, one of your freelancers. But very important is that freelancer needs to be accountable. Okay. This is going to be the biggest thing. The channel manager needs to be accountable. Very important. So what you can also do is you can hire a VA from onlinejobs.ph. Now, the most commonly payment methods used are bank transfer, Wise, PayPal, or Remitly. Okay. Always make sure to ask your freelancers, what payment method do you use before you even start working with them? Because you don't want them to create 30 videos for you and then you can't pay them. All right. These guys put in a lot of hard work. Okay. Then we actually go into our niche testing framework. So I follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on videos that will never ever work. So the first thing we obviously do is we do niche research. Then we choose one account. You guys know exactly everything about the accounts already. But we choose one account. Now, once we have one account, we actually need to choose 15 video topics. I always recommend you guys to actually watch my videos twice. This video here, watch it twice so you know exactly how to choose good video topics. Okay. Because if you're gonna do one thing wrong, you're gonna have it like it's not gonna work. So you want to make sure that you choose a good niche and good video topics. Okay. Now, once you have the video topics, you want to go ahead and you want to create the script with ChatGPT. Okay. You can do ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you want to use. I do not mind. All right. I also don't care as long as the script is being written. For the voiceover, 11 Labs, video editor, freelancer. When we are on the testing phase, we do not want to spend like a lot of money on the videos. So first work with a cheaper video editor to kind of test the water in that niche. Now, once you see it works, you can always increase the video quality. For the thumbnail, we want to use a freelancer, or we do it ourselves, or we do it with AI. AI got super good at creating thumbnails. Okay. Now, what is extremely important is that we create videos that are longer than 1.5 times than our competitor video. Why? Because we want to have a competitive advantage over our competitors by creating longer videos. Because it is very funny, but I don't know why it works like this, but people, if the video is longer, people are going to automatically watch it more minutes. And it's not about the average view percentage or all of that stuff that people are always telling you guys. It's about who spends the most minutes on, like which kind of video holds people for the most minutes on YouTube. And that's what we're aiming for, right? So we're looking to actually keep someone on YouTube for a longer period of time. All right. Then for the title and the thumbnail, we want to make sure that we actually choose something that is working. All right. We don't want to randomly just think about thumbnails. We want to always work with something that is already working. Okay. Then we actually get into the posting phase right here. Okay. That's where we are going to post all 15 videos. So we're going to post, skip, skip, as you want. All right. Does not matter. I really don't mind what kind of sequence you post in. Now, what's going to happen is very simple. Either, the channel is actually going to pick up like here. We want to post all 15 videos. Okay. But either the channel is going to pick up like here, then only we're going to post more videos. All right. But keep in mind, we're only going to post 15 videos. And I don't want to hear anyone that to tell me like, hey, I'm not getting views if you never posted 15 videos to a channel. Now, after, the channel actually started picking up, then we can post more videos. If though, you post 15 videos and you do not get any views, then we do not continue on that channel. Okay? Yeah, we don't continue on that channel. Why do I say that? Because usually a good niche will take only around about 15 videos, should be more than enough to see if a channel is going to work or not. All right. Now, the reasons why a channel might fail is maybe your niche, maybe your video topics, your packaging, video length, or you have a bad channel. If you have a bad channel, you don't get any impressions. Okay. Now, once the channel fails, I want you to go back to the channel and try to understand why did my channel fail, and then start at the top again. Okay. And you go through this process until you get a channel that wins. And trust me, the more you do this, the more you're going to learn and the faster you're going to have a channel that's up and running. Okay. Now, the next thing is monetization. All right. So with the channel I showed you, obviously went super quickly. But yeah, now I want to, now we probably get to the part that is everyone's most favorite part. How do we actually make money from YouTube? So firstly, we have the YouTube partnership program, which is no joke, the easiest way to make money with YouTube. Because this is where YouTube pays you directly for the views you get. Now for that, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, which we reached on that channel very, very quickly. Like, it was absolutely insane. The literally first video blew up because we nailed the niche and we nailed the video topic. Okay. Same with the packaging. We nailed it, right? So the channel immediately blew up and got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So this does not need to take 1.5 years. The average person, by the way, it takes 1.5 years to reach it. But after this video, you should reach it way quicker. Okay. Now, I know 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time sound a lot, but the people we work with get to this point on average in 3 to 6 weeks. And we just had someone doing it again yesterday, as we can see here. Right? Someone did it again here. Just reached the magic number of 1,000 subscribers, could not be happier. If we look here, right? Here, another one monetized, 1,000 subscribers in 9 days. Channel taking off, monetized. Here, monetized. Another one monetized, taking off, monetized in 2 weeks. And I can go on and on and on like this for very long. Got my channel monetized, 2 channels monetized in 7 weeks after starting working with me. Can go on and on like that. Guys, if you need the exact same kind of help, check out the first link in the video description and book a call with me. We'll have a look how we can work one-on-one together and scale your channel up. Now, how much money can you actually earn from YouTube? Now, we have a CPM, which is the cost per 1,000 views. And then that is basically how much advertisers pay for every 1,000 views or impressions on the ad. Then we have RPM, which is revenue per 1,000 views, how much you actually earn for every 1,000 views you get on your channel. Now, if you have an RPM of $5 and you get 1,000 views, you make $5. If you have an RPM of $5 and you get 1 million views, you make $5,000. So all you need is 2 million views to make 10K a month with YouTube, right? Which, if you think about it, is not really too difficult because we're already posting videos on topics that people are already interested in. Now, if we want to increase our RPM, right, we want to turn on alcohol and gambling ads. This is going to be massive because these are the kind of companies that spend the most amount of money on advertising, right? Then we want to create longer videos than 15 minutes and we want to place ads every 10 seconds using Next Level. That's another huge thing why Next Level is so cool. All right. So now you guys know literally everything you need to know to be able to do the exact same thing we did. And again, if you need any help doing this as well, check out the first link in the video description. Book your call with me. Let's see how we can scale up your faceless YouTube channel. And yeah, just make sure you're committed and hardworking. Then it's no problem. We're going to easy do it. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.